What is up, everybody? This is Brandon back on Motor Nubs, and I figured I would record this. It may be a good educational exercise or learning event. Driving the car, I noticed it's got a slight stutter when I'm at like 60 mile an hour and I'm like 10% or less on the throttle. If I do any more, it runs perfectly fine. It'll break them loose if I get down on it from a stop. But it's just got that little bit of stumble, a little bit of stutter, very, very low down when I'm cruising. So I was like, well, let me check the transmission fluid. So I bought one of the Mercedes-Benz dipsticks because they don't come with the dipstick, and I just checked it, and it looks like somebody overfilled the transmission. So I'm hoping if I can drain some of that off, and then I bought a couple quarts just in case I drained off too much, that maybe my little stutter or skip or whatever that is will go away. It doesn't feel like it's motor side because it doesn't happen while it's in neutral, or I can get down on it and it's perfectly fine. If you guys have any advice, please comment down below. But I am going to be draining that out in this video and hopefully showing you my struggles and trials and tribulations. So before we get too far along, I'll show you guys where the dipstick tube is on. This is a 2003 Mercedes E500, but basically any of the 03 to 06 500 models, so S500, E500, and I believe CLK 500, you pull this front cover off, then you pop these out, then you pull this up, and this one comes up too. All right, and then this just comes right up out of here. I'll set that over there. And you have right here is your oil dipstick, which it doesn't have a dipstick. And then down here, right here is a little cap or cover right there. And that's where you stick your transmission dipstick in. You don't leave the dipstick in it because the one that they use is it's used for like 50 million different cars, and they all have a little bit different links. But the actual measuring part is at the bottom, so it doesn't matter about the top side, if that makes any sense. I'll show you guys remeasuring it once I get the fluid drained off. I'm going to pull it forward and get it up on these little ramps. That way I can get up underneath it and drain some hot fluid off. All right, so it's definitely like an Allen bit or whatever for the drain plug on the bottom of the pan. I just went through my set of Allen wrenches, and it shows that it's a size 5 metric. So, bam, that's the one. It's a little tight though, so I'm gonna have to put something on the end of it to help turn it, because this is a short Allen wrench. But that is gonna be the ticket. Now, I'm probably gonna let the car cool off because I'm not draining off the whole pan. I just want to drain it down to get the level in a good area, and I don't want like scalding hot transmission fluid like all over my hand when I'm trying to drain it and then cap it back off. This may go horribly wrong, and I may end up draining a lot more fluid than I intend, but wish me luck, guys. So yeah, I'm gonna go chill for a second while this cools off, and we'll be back. So with the power of YouTube. All right, so we're underneath the car. I found my little tripod, and the idea is here that let me get you over here to the transmission pan. We're going to take our Allen wrench and crack the bolt loose, the drain bolt, and just try to drain off about, I don't know, a half a quart, and then go and check the transmission fluid again and see where we're at, and kind of work in those kind of increments. So let me get this set up so y'all can see what I'm doing, and we'll do it. All right, so on an E500 with the rear-wheel drive transmission, this right here is the drain bolt for the transmission pan, and it is just an Allen wrench. Looks like this one's been off before. I don't know if I'll be able to break it loose just with this small Allen wrench. Ugh. So I brought me something else so I can kind of use as a cheater here. I just want to crack it loose because we're just going to try to drain off a little bit. Alright, I think I broke her free. Oh yes. Alright, so I'm gonna just back this off till she starts leaking. This is gonna make a mess. I can already tell. Alright, are you ready? Okay, so I drained off a little bit right there. Now I'm gonna go up on the top side, and normally you don't take a measurement while it's cold and not running. I took my measurement hot and while it was running, so I have an accurate measurement there. But so I can measure the difference of fluid while it's cold and up on the jack stands, I did take a measurement, so that way I can compare how much I actually took out, if that makes sense. So I'm gonna run up and go top side, and I will be right back and see if I need to drain some more or not, because I know how much I need to actually come down. Alright guys, so I'm back up underneath the car. I took a measurement. It went down on the stick about, I don't know, a little over 1/4 of an inch, but from my estimates, I think it's about a 1/2 quart to a quart over full. So I'm gonna need to drain some more off, and that way when I get it started back up and get it running, I'll take another measurement, and I do have some fluid in case I go too low. But being over full on an automatic transmission, never a good thing. Never a good thing. So let's drain some more. All right. I'm gonna go take another measurement, but I think we're close right there. That looks like almost about a full quart in the drain pan. So let me stop this and pull you guys out. It looks like I almost drained off maybe 2 quarts. I drained off a little bit more, and this is the official. This is a Mercedes-Benz OEM dipstick tool. They list it as a tool because it can be used for like a bunch of different models of cars, and it's not meant to be left in there because it actually like still sticks out like this far, but the measuring end is all the way down at the bottom, so that's how they use it for like a bunch of different cars, I guess. Anyway, I'm gonna flip the camera around and I'm gonna show you guys where we're at. Well, actually, hold on, I'll just stick it in there real quick right now. I already showed you where the tube was at on this car, so let me run it down in there, touch bottom. And now this is cold while the car's off, so it's not going to be an accurate measurement, but we are, can you see that? Of course not. Anyway, we're about halfway in between the cold and hot fill range, so it's probably going to suck some of that up once we turn it on, hopefully, and get that level down. Then we'll check it again if I need to. I have some fresh Mercedes-Benz automatic transmission fluid I can add to it. Make sure you use the correct ATF, guys. That's super important depending on what you're working on. So let me put the intake back on, or well, the intake box or whatever that's called, and get this thing fired up. All right, so now I'm gonna go on a little ride around the neighborhood just to get the transmission up to some kind of temperature, and it calls for 80. I think that's like 80 degrees Celsius, the operating temperature, right? I think that's right below 200 degrees Fahrenheit. Goodness, some dogs are going crazy over there. Say hi, Rusty. Anyway, so I'm gonna get the fluid going through everything, and they recommend you to cycle it from reverse, from park, reverse, neutral to drive, and then even putting a little bit of miles on the transmission just to get the most accurate reading. Ugh. Let's hop in here. All right, the dipstick down there, and now put in drive, and we'll cruise down. If my dog don't get out of the way. Okay. Taking my dog for a walk. Take your Mercedes and your dog for a walk. Why you gotta be right in front of the car, buddy? There you go. He's trotting now. I'm hoping, hold on, let me flip this camera around. I'm hoping this is gonna get rid of that little like transmission or that stumble that I was feeling, because it was really annoying. Didn't seem to be actually bothering or hurting the drivability, but this damn dog, get out the way, man. That's my little beepers being like, there's something in front of you. But yeah, it didn't seem to be hurting the drivability of the car. It just was it bothered me. At being a car guy, and you like know what your motor and your transmission, you can feel it, you know what I mean? It bothered me. Now, Kayla was in the car, my fiance, and she didn't even notice it. And I was like, do you feel the stumble? And she's like, is that it? Is it happening now? And I'm like, no, it's not happening now. So obviously a non-car person, this car is a little smooth. It rides pretty good. So my daggone dog, I'm gonna strangle him. He wants to go for a ride with me, but I'm not going anywhere. Probably should have just let him in the car, but we're almost at the end of the neighborhood. I'm turning around right now. But if I could fix that little stumble just by getting the transmission to the correct level, that will be awesome. I mean, it didn't need to be overfilled anyway, but if it's that simple of a fix, I am gonna be tickled to death. Oh, there's my dog. What's up, Rusty? What's up, boy? Going for a run. Oh, we're cruising now. You're doing 10 mile an hour, Rusty. All right, we're going back home. It's a good little dog right there. All right, we're taking this right. Oh, we're back on our street, Rusty. Let's go home. He's like, what you doing to the car, man? What's wrong with it? You won't let me ride in the Mercedes. I have had him in the Mercedes once, and he's just a dirty little dog. Get out of the front of the car. He keeps crossing over in front of it. All right, well, I'm gonna creep back up here. We'll check this transmission fluid and see what we're working with. If the fluid level's good, then we'll take it out and pop it on the highway and see if I can get it to replicate that little bobble. And when I mean like a bobble or a stutter, it's not like very noticeable, but I got a clip of it earlier, and you got to really kind of look, and you'll see like the RPM like kind of bumble around a little bit, and I can feel that a lot more than you can see it, but you can't really hear it. It's hard to explain, so I'll put that clip in now. All right, so you know what I'm talking about. Hopefully I can find that clip. If I didn't, then I just kind of seemed like that was really dumb. But yeah, so now to check the transmission fluid, we got her in park. Let's pop the hood and let's run that dipstick down in there. Alright guys, so if you can't see it, it's down to the bottom of the stick. It's right at the cold range. So that means I'm probably gonna need to add a little bit of fluid to that. I'm gonna go grab my funnel and top some in there. Trying to get it to do its bobbles. It's definitely better. I want to say I felt it a little bit. I don't know, it seems pretty smooth, actually. Well, I mean, it feels pretty good. I'm gonna go do some cruising and see what it do. But I think I'm happy with it. Well, I think my issue is resolved at the moment. So what I thought may be a potential transmission problem, looks like the previous owner just had it overfilled. So I don't know if that was the shop that had done the work at the time, or maybe he added some fluid to it. But yeah, it was about 1.5 quarts to 2 quarts over full, and that gave me a weird little shudder when I was just cruising and under a slight load. Everything seems to be hunky-dory now, though. So yeah, I'm happy. I'm tickled to death. So I'm gonna go get some gas, drive it for a little bit. If anything happens, I'll get that on camera. But otherwise, I'm gonna do some pulls for y'all, and I hope y'all have a good day. Yeah, so more Honda content is coming soon. Don't know if I'm going to be doing a whole lot more on this Mercedes. Got a couple people interested in it for selling. I do have a water pump, so I do have to do the water pump on that. So cross your fingers for me, guys. I got to change a water pump on a V8 Mercedes. It doesn't sound too bad. Well, no, it sounds bad. It doesn't look bad. So yeah, let's get on her a little bit. This thing runs good, man, and it's smooth too. All right, guys, later. Peace. Let's do some pulls.